Hi guys, today we're going to be doing another top 10 list, and this one's going to be a little different. I remember my best movies list. It's kind of updated because I am going to add some more sometime soon, but you know that. And some people were wondering why were there no 60s movies on that list. Well, you see, that's because I wasn't the 60s guy that you all would think of. I'm a pretty much an 80s guy. I was actually born after the 20th century, so you probably were surprised. However, that does not mean I hate the 60s. I think they have great movies, just not ones that were on my top 10 list. But because I haven't really discussed any great 60s movies, we will today. Today we're going to be looking at my favorite 60s movies of all time. And yes, this will be my opinion, so be aware you're not going to see many R-rated ones on here. You'll see some, but not too many. And with that said, we're gonna get this list started, and yeah, you might as well right now. Number 10 is True Grit. Now, you're probably all gonna hate when I say this, but I am not the biggest fan of John Wayne. Now, hear me out. I think he does fine sometimes, but the problem is he doesn't do much. He really only plays one type of character, a Western guy. He always plays a cowboy mostly the time. And I know people say he does have other stuff, but let's be honest. When you think of John Wayne, do you really. What comes in your head? Western. That's pretty much all that comes in your head when you think of John Wayne. Nothing else. I just don't really feel like he needs much. But with True Grit, it is a pretty fun movie. His acting's fine, and I guess the story is still good to this day. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of John Wayne, I still adore his movie. This film is pretty great. It's probably his best. It has some good moments in it. It's a fun little western, and yeah, I seem to find more fun with it than I don't know, Good, Bad, and Ugly. Yeah, you said I'm not. I don't. I like that movie, but I feel like this is better. It's a good movie, and I think it really is fine for his kind of person, even though I'm not the kind of person I'm a giant fan of. Number 9 is 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, I couldn't get away with this without adding a Disney movie on here, and this one's no exception. It's fun, it's well written, and it really follows a nice tale from Disney. This is in a time when Disney had most for their work on a bunch of animation products. They seem to have now grown to more live action products and even more cool companies. People hate them for that. I don't. This movie was a good example for their animation, and it's fun filled, and it's very nice. I'm also actually a big fan of the live action remake. Yeah, you know, live action remake from Disney sucked, but the remake for this one wasn't too bad. I guess maybe the sequel was, but the original remake and the original film in general are pretty good. Number 8 is Goldfinger. Here we go, James Bond. He's the man who everybody remembers. One of the most iconic fellas of all time. James Bond is huge. And my favorite movie from him is Goldfinger. Why? Well, because it has gold in it, and gold is rich, which means this movie is the richest. I'm kidding. It has the most excitement in it. I don't find too much excitement from these movies, but then again, that's kind of because these movies are mainly meant for more adult audiences. Either way, I still watched them and I enjoyed them. They weren't funny, but they were certainly well written, and they had some pretty nice stuff through it. Romance, spy, mystery, a lot of good stuff. This film is great because it does capture the right amount of stuff that James Bond offers, and it just makes him the right kind of character. You know what I mean? Number 7 is The Jungle Book. Oh, look, another animated Disney movie from the 60s, The Jungle Book. Fun, it's pretty nice. It has some great animation, it has some well written stuff in it. It's a fun filled little movie. The remake, on the other hand, is bleh. It sucks. I hate the remake for this movie. Most people say it's good. I hate it. I do not admire it at all. It's bland, but the original certainly isn't. It's fun. Number 6 is Rosemary's Baby. I've already talked about Rosemary's Baby in my best horror movies list, so I'll be brief. It's fun grain, it has scary moments, and it certainly offers the right kind of details we all want to see from a horror movie. This is the 60s, not many were out then. Number 5 is To Kill a Mockingbird. Has any of you fellows ever read the book? If you read the book, you know how fun this movie is. Sad moments, interesting moments, all that. To Kill a Mockingbird is not really much about killing mockingbirds. It's more about racism and family and most of all in between. It's a great movie, and it really seems to feel like the right kind of '60s film. Everything they talk about just makes sense for a movie. It's nice. It really is. It can be sad. It can be interesting. It can have some very big moments in it. There's even sometimes where it can actually be funny. Well, not really. It shouldn't be, but it's a good movie. And yeah, for those who are a fan of book to film adaptations, I probably recommend this one. For those who are a fan of racism films that talk about racism, that I recommend this. It's great. It's a pretty great movie. Number 4, Psycho. I put Psycho at number 4, not somewhere in the top 3, because for a great movie like Psycho, the top 3 is better in my opinion. Either way, I love Psycho. It's scary, it's suspenseful, it's pretty interesting story, and it really is something the '60s can offer. It kind of was. I know that basically was made in 1959, but it was introduced in the '60s, so that makes sense for it to be a '60s film. This is actually probably Alfred Hitchcock's best movie out of them all because it captures everything Alfred Hitchcock movies offer, and it's just something extraordinary and fun. He's turning 60 this year, so be happy with that. One thing I kind of don't understand is that if you look closely, you'll see it says it's a Paramount picture. But when you look at a Blu-ray or DVD or re-release, you'll notice it's made by Universal, not even give Paramount any credit. I don't know why, because that's kind of the case for most of Alfred Hitchcock's movies now. They're all owned by Universal. Doesn't make sense, but that's off topic, as Psycho is certainly a great gesture. Number 3 is West Side Story. Oh, look, I am a fan of a Best Picture winner. Yes, I am. West Side Story is freaking wonderful. The music is nice to listen to, the story feels perfect, and the melody just dazzles me very well. It's fun. I've never seen the musical, but when I see the movie, you kind of probably do get a gist of what the musical was. And I love it. This movie certainly does have all that. Great dancing scenes, great love scenes, great, well written stuff. It's a really fun film. When the remake's going to be coming out this year, and I'm sure I might enjoy it, even though remakes are kind of bland. This looks kind of fun. We haven't seen a trailer yet, but we have what we got about it is fun. It's gonna be made by Fox. It's gonna be made by Steven Spielberg. That's pretty much just gonna make this movie better. I believe that. Number 2 is Mary Poppins. It's Julie Andrews, okay. It's also Dick Van Dyke. Two actors from the time are in this movie together, singing great music, going on great adventures, and introducing some wonderful animation mix-ups. It's all there. There's another musical from Julie Andrews called The Sound of Music. I unfortunately never grew up with The Sound of Music as much as I grew up with this film. It's a great film. There's also the sequel, Mary Poppins Returns, but since Julie Andrews doesn't sing in that movie, I'm gonna go with the original as the better film, even though Mary Poppins Returns was a nice gesture. Needless to say, this film will always be a wonderful musical. But what is the better film? For this being a better musical, what could be a better film? None other than the good old 2001 A Space Odyssey. This movie kicks legitimate ass. It's literally in the top 20 of best movies ever. Not the top 10, but the top 20. This movie is creative, it's strong, it has wonderful sci-fi. It's like the Star Wars of the 60s. I think Star Wars is better, but this movie is wonderful, okay? See it and you'll know how wonderful it is. May not have too much dialogue in it, but that just helps prove that this movie doesn't need dialogue to be fun. You can see the bright colors, find the greatest pictures. All that's there. They try to don't do too much dialogue so they can avoid not getting away with bad acting or bad saying. And I like that. I like what they did with this movie. This movie's great. It's wonderful. It's the best film of the 60s, in my opinion. I love it. Well, that's about all I can get to for this top 10. Thanks for watching. The next review will probably not be in a long time soon. I'm going to be seeing a lot of movies this year, so don't be expecting too many reviews. I will give you one short review for the movie Gretel and Hansel for fun. It was bad. That's all I could say. It's bad. I really have 3 words for the movie: boring, stupid, and rushed. That's what the movie was. Besides that, I've planned for other films. The next review will be coming soon. I'll give you a hint. It's a fast movie. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. We all know I'm gonna review that.